and welcome back to the BraindAI Podcast. I'm your host, Lenka. This is the show for digital agencies and innovative brands focused on predictable growth. We deliver AI solutions and systems required to streamline client acquisition and automate service delivery, ensuring you are maximizing your capacity to scale. Today, at the podcast, I'm thrilled to welcome Georgi Roberts, owner of Pitstop Marketing, a strategic and creative agency celebrating 80 years in business. Georgi began her career in London as a designer, but her curiosity about the why behind every project led her into digital strategy and marketing. She's worked with international brands, government clients, and a variety of industries, always focused on delivering results and understanding audiences deeply. She joined Pitstop when it was a small 3-person agency, bought in, and eventually took full ownership, growing into a full, thriving, strategy-first agency that is today. Today we'll be exploring her journey, the lessons she learned scaling an agency, and how she stays relevant in a fast-changing marketing world. Georgi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me here, Lenka.
It all started in London as a designer back in the day. At what point did you realize you weren't just interested in creating things, but really understanding the strategy behind it?
I think it was when I worked out I was a really annoying person who needed to know why before I started anything. So if I was given something to design, I needed to know who it was for, what we were trying to get out of the design itself. I just couldn't get going on anything before I got the background behind it. And then I just started to get more involved in the message itself and really understanding who we were trying to resonate with. And I had a bit of a gradual shift then over into marketing because I realized that my strengths actually lay more in the strategic area rather than the design area. And then recruited designers who were much better than I was at it. So that was a joy as well to be able to recruit some great creative people.
I love it. As you said, you just described yourself as the annoying person who always wanted to know why. How has that curiosity shaped you the way you lead Pitstop today?
I would say that it's always that foundation of asking questions. Being curious is really a key value behind the business itself. One of the things we really pride ourselves on is when we talk to our clients, we do a lot more listening than talking. So it's around asking the right questions and having great conversations so that we make sure that what we're actually trying to do is pull out the really key bits of information and those key answers that sometimes clients don't even know that they hold within themselves as well. And I think it's around noticing as well. So when you're walking around and you're reading things or you're in the supermarket, it's asking yourselves, why am I looking at that spot? What is on the bottom shelf? Why does no one ever notice that? So it's that constant curiosity that really drives making us great marketers.
You bought into Pitstop when it was a smaller team and later bought out a founder as well. What was the transition like, both emotionally and strategically?
That was hard, actually. That was really hard. Running a business with someone else was that was a really nice progression into business ownership. The previous owner, we basically didn't split jobs. We did pretty much everything together. So that worked really well. And then when I bought her out, I suddenly didn't have that sounding board that was there that I could just talk to all of the time. And at first, those decisions were, I realized I had to really trust myself in ways that I hadn't done before because I had no one to validate my ideas. But then I actually got a lot of freedom out of that. And I'm more of a risk taker. And my business partner was more so I really enjoy taking risks and trying different things. So I used to get talked out of that. And then when I started running it by myself, I could take some more risks and get some great wins out of that. Yes, not everything worked, but that really feeds my energy and who I am to try lots of different things.
Pitstop is turning 18 this year. What a milestone. What do you believe has truly sustained the growth and relevance over almost 2 decades?
It's a great question because the business has ebbed and flowed over the years. 6 years ago, I brought the business back to just being me. I took it back home. The business was running me. I wasn't running it. And I think I was having a pretty unhealthy life and was very burnt out. And the great thing about doing that led me led me to start looking at how do I grow this as a sustainable enterprise for myself, sustainable as a business owner, not even thinking about money. So then I grew it slowly. I grew it back slowly. And I think this last 6 years have been probably the most successful of the business because I think I learned a lot of hard lessons leading up to that moment. Really focusing on the right people, I think is what's making us successful. Having the right people in the team and also making sure we're working with clients whose values align with ours as well.
Yeah. You don't work with clients until you've done strategy first. How do you sell strategy in a market where clients often just, want quick execution or quick wins?
Well, I think this is one of the lessons that if a client wants a quick win, maybe they're not the right client for us. I mean, not it can be hard. Like if I'm working really, really hard to sell in strategy to someone, I then question what they're valuing of us as an agency, given that we are really focused on strategy. We know that if we can't learn about a business beforehand, if we're not given the time to do that, how can we execute things properly? We'll just end up doing maybe exactly what the clients had done before. So I think that, yes, strategy is an investment and there's no way everyone wants to do it. So it can feel like a hard sell sometimes. But even for those clients where we've maybe had to work a little bit harder to get them over the line for strategy. As soon as we present it, they say things like, oh my gosh, how did you know this is exactly us? This is what we need. And then we're like, okay, great. And then also you're on the same page to then move forward and start working and start doing great things for them.
You work across different industries as well, rather than just focusing on a single niche. How do you maintain a strong positioning within, without niching down?
Yes, it's controversial, isn't it, to not have a niche? um, I think if everything is based, it comes back. It sounds a bit like a broken record, but it comes back to being really strategic, and also it comes down to creativity. So if we can put our strategic minds and our marketing knowledge, we can put that into any business because when we are strategic, we're learning about an industry. We're looking at what's been done through competitors or what they've done before. So I think if we start with that really, really good foundation, you can put it across any industry at all. And we're lucky because, we've got a great team who have got experience across many industries as well.
Well, actually, it's not that controversial. I
No?
think there are many agencies that are very specific and very niche down, and they focus on just mastering one craft on one vertical. On the other hand, I'm speaking with a lot of agencies that are very broad. So yeah, I think it's just a choice. It's just different approach, different ways of running the business. I think both could be successful. That's not like right or wrong answer. Most of your growth comes from referrals, as majority of agency, let's be honest, and it is the highest conversion, the best ideal clients if they come to you. Do you see that as a strength, or does it create a little bit of limitation when it comes to growth and scaling?
I think it's absolutely a strength. Having a referral is like just immediately gives you credibility. And it's the fastest way to grow is by having other people talk about you and what you do. But we do have other clients come to us through search engine optimization, or they've come across our Instagram page, for example. It's just not the majority. And I think given that we have quite a lot of clients in Adelaide, the referrals are always really, really strong in this city because a lot of people do know each other, and you'll have someone say, oh yeah, you should talk to Georgie from Pitstop, she'll be able to help you. But also, if we want to work for another business, I'll look for a connection into that business so that I can ask for someone to refer us, just because I know that human connection is always what's going to be higher credibility than someone simply browsing your website. You need to have that backup, but there's nothing like human connection. I think also the fact that, we pick up the phone, that we like to talk to people, that we like to meet people in person. If we pick up the phone within the next few hours or 24 hours from when someone reaches out to us, people appreciate that level of customer service still, if you like.
One of your goals for this year is expanding beyond Adelaide and to the East Coast. What needs to change internally to support that next stage of growth?
That's a great question. I think it's making sure so our structure needs to be right to do that. We have as we have a big focus on servicing clients, so understanding how might that look. Can we see our clients if we go to the East Coast once a month because we still really value that face to face. So understanding that structure is really important. Learning about we do have a few clients on the East Coast, and it still comes down to what are they trying to achieve. So making sure we're staying strong with building on foundations. So not getting overexcited because we might have the potential of a new client on the East Coast. We still need to make sure that they're a good match for us. So I think it comes down to making sure our client service ethos is right and making sure we stay true to how we know we can help businesses grow.
What would be your ideal client? Or what client is the right client for you?
The right client is someone who values us and our knowledge and what we do. Someone who is prepared to, someone who knows what they're trying to achieve. Absolutely. Like if someone can state what their business goals are, that's really important too. How can we achieve things for them if they actually don't know what those goalposts are? And for me, my perfect client is someone who is prepared to take a couple of risks as well. So when we look at, let's say, a client's budget, if you divided it by 100, you might do 60% of some always on marketing. You might do, say, 30% of some campaign marketing. And I try and ask clients for 10% of what could we do that could be really cool and really successful. Let's take a bit of a risk. So that's my ideal client. If they can give me 10%, I'd love to work with them.
Testing is everything. Even if you specialize or you don't specialize, if you have the best tactic strategy in place, it works for one client, it doesn't work for another. There's just not a template you can just implement across a variety of your clients and suddenly everything works. So I couldn't agree more. If you can, and if client understands and is on board, I think that could be very powerful.
Absolutely.
You mentioned that CRM is a little bit underutilized. Again, many agencies have the same scenario. Why do you think is it though? Why do you think agencies struggle to fully leverage systems and processes?
I think it's just down to time. Even though we know it's a time saver, initial investment that needs to be made of setting it up and setting it up correctly and setting it up so that you can make the most of it. Agencies work where if you're working on chargeable work, you're making money. Taking that time out and investing in your CRM, it's that trade-off, right? You're investing in something that, while you're doing it, is not making you any money, while you could be doing chargeable work at the other time. And sometimes it's a bit like, a plumber with a leaky tap. We might help clients and advise them on their CRM, or we might be setting up automations within their CRM and linking it to their emails and linking it to their website. And we're doing that all the while thinking, this would be really good for us if we could do it as well.
Yeah. The other day I was speaking with another agency owner and he said that agency owners are the worst clients for themselves when it comes to marketing. I think it goes back down to what you just said. It's just priorities and time. People are usually very stretched.
I got kicked out of leading the marketing for Pitstop. So my colleague Jess, she is now the marketing manager of Pitstop. She plans out our posts and she helps me write emails. I think I am a terrible client at times.
We touch base on systems and automations a little bit with the rising AI around us. How do you think it will change the way how you service your clients?
I think what we've seen already is speed in things like research. It's helped us bring research together, but also do more faster volume of research online. Also, whether it's bringing in meeting notes from talking to clients about what they know of their business and their audiences, or trawling through Reddit pages and finding out what questions people are asking about products and services. It's already made that so much faster. So we know that we can deliver strategy faster because that research piece is so much quicker. And I think it's the other way that we'll see, and I think we've not nailed it yet, we as a group, is amplifying what we do. I think where the content is being increased by marketers, but not necessarily the quality across the board, because there's a lot of production, but maybe the idea generation is not keeping up with it. But when we can find a way to train AI better as agencies, then it should just be able to amplify what we do. So what we're talking about, like with testing before, we should be able to test a higher volume and get to the right answer faster, if you like, or get a really good creative idea and then get the output of that could be faster also. So I think speed and amplification.
Do you notice that your clients are expecting results quicker? Now they're getting a little bit more savvy in AI, or not yet?
No, I haven't noticed that actually. I haven't noticed it. This year, what I have found is I is needing to put out communication to our clients about how we use AI, because I'm old school writer, so I like to use M dashes. Anytime we do that now, I get the question, is this from ChatGPT? So, sadly, the M dash is dying.
Yeah.
But it's more, I don't think they're expecting that, but I feel that they are watching what we do in a different way. So, I need to put comms out about this is how we use AI in the business and this is how it's advantageous for you.
I do agree. I'm having a lot of conversation about quality of content and production and mass production and how you can still be authentic and be yourself while you communicate out there. So it's a learning curve. It's like when internet first came out and then emails. Now we're just adapting a little bit more. I think with agencies, we are more on the radar because we're kind of on the front foot with this, or we should be for our clients. So there's a lot of testing involved. But it's also very exciting, I believe, for small clients and clients that potentially couldn't afford agencies in the past. Because to your point, doing the strategy work required so many hours, such a deep research and analysis and putting all together. For some, it just wasn't feasible. Now you may work out another tier of the package that even people who, don't necessarily have big bucks, local businesses can still leverage from it.
That's so true. That's so true. Like we've got a couple of clients where we don't do the tactical implementation, but we might just do the strategy. And then, we might make them some Canva templates so that they can look on brand the whole time. And then we give them that. It's like, okay, go forth and do great stuff now. I think that the key is helping them understand their point of difference, that then they can remember to use that with the content that they produce. But I agree, it's made it easier for smaller businesses. Like not everyone is ready to work with a marketing agency ongoing. But yeah, there are so many benefits for that production. I think it's the businesses and business owners' remit, though, to remember what they're trying to do and achieve, which is not just put content out. Everything's done for a reason, right, with marketing.
You had quite steep growth in the last 6 years that you did a bit of reset and you've been thriving since. What was the biggest learning? And how would you do it differently if you had to do it again?
Biggest learning was investing in the right people and spending time on HR side of the business. So when I employ people, spending that time in the induction, I meet with each of my team every 6 weeks, and then we have a 6-month catch up and a 1-year review. And what that does is it gives me that point of checking in. How are they going? Are there any issues? But also we talk about their clients and businesses, and we can come up with ideas in those meetings. And I just think it sounds so cheesy, but it's so important for people to feel valued in a business and to feel like they're contributing and they're making a difference to your business and also to their own clients. Because sometimes I think if we just put our head down and work, we kind of forget that, what are we doing this for anyway? Like we like to go to work and feel like we're doing stuff. So I think that's part of it. And the other thing really that I've focused on in the last couple of years is ensuring that creativity drives everything. So have creative sessions where we sit down and we might have a pretend client and we come up with ideas for them, or we focus on one real client and okay, what's the craziest thing we could think of to do for them? And that creativity it brings us all together. So it's a really good kind of team building, team bonding. It brings energy to the room as well, because it's always a bit silly. We've got to present our ideas afterwards. So, everyone has to put themselves out there. So those pieces are super important for, bringing the team together, having that high energy level and that motivation and mood level really high. We want people to enjoy coming into work, and, I want people to love working for Pitstop.
I love it. And I really enjoy this conversation. Before I let you go, just last quick question. What would be the best way for our audience to connect with you or learn more about Pitstop?
So jump onto our website, which is pitstopmarketing.com.au, and you'll see we try and write a journal once a month, which is just some tips or ideas. But also you can see some case studies of clients that we've worked with, and lots of nice visuals and some videos just showing what we've done. You can follow us on Instagrams, which is just Pitstop Marketing. And please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm always on there, interested to see what people are up to, what people are doing, joining in conversations too.
Thank you so much, Georgie. All these links will be down below in the description. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back soon with another interesting topic. Thank you, Georgie.
Thanks for such a great conversation.